question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the
Here we are. It is February 18th, 2025. And today we are demystifying the car sales process. What you need to know before you buy. And we have a resident expert here, but we'll get to him in just a moment. Welcome everybody to Mohawk Table Talk. I'm your host, Nathaniel Greglich, along with my better half co-host, Mike O'Toole.
Oh, that was nice.
You like that?
I do like that.
You're a better co-host than I am, you know?
Well, welcome everybody to Mohawk Table Talk. We appreciate you looking us up. Hopefully, if you're watching live, feel free to shoot any questions that you have about our topic today. We have a few to cover. But before we get to the main topic about buying a vehicle, which, you know, this might have changed over the years, and we're going to touch on exactly how that happens and all the positives for you as a vehicle shopper. But before that, we have some local news.
Lots of
some
local
good,
news
some
going on.
bad, some a little bit slower than others.
Yeah, right?
Speaking of slow,
Speaking of, nice job. I see what you did there. But before we get to slow, if you're just following us or just hopping on, don't know what this is Mohawk Table Talk, where we come to you every Tuesday, 12:30, and we give you tips and tricks to become a more educated car buyer. And we want to make sure that you are educated. We want to make sure you understand how to buy a car, how to maintain your car, how to service and repair your vehicle. We want to make sure that when you have your vehicle, it is you understand how to maintain and keep that vehicle for the journey that you have as a vehicle owner.
besides that, we also give them a lot of the insider tips, right? A lot of
Insider tips and
times
tricks.
dealerships receive info about the market in general that sometimes the public, unless you tune into Mohawk Table Talk, you don't really know. So we're here to tell you about it.
So here we are. If you don't already, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. And if you are on Spotify, make sure you hit that follow button and throw any comments there. We want to see what's going on. But let's talk about slow, because Albany started it, and of course Schenectady wants to jump on board. And of course they want to. They saw the stats. So they are jumping on board with reducing the speed limit in Schenectady to 25 miles per hour.
But a lot of research went into that, if I'm not mistaken.
2.5 years, a 2.5 year review, and aligns with similar measurements in neighborhood communities.
Right. And at first time I heard that, I'm like, oh, geez, that means what? It's going to take me longer to get to work. And
that's the first thing I heard, actually.
In May. But then I reflected and said, well, that's just me. Let's talk about the reasons why that may have happened.
Of course.
Obviously, safety is the answer. Safety for both you, your vehicle, and of course pedestrians. Heavily populated area. Anybody who's driven around Schenectady knows that there are crosswalks all over the place, and folks looking to cross, children and everybody else. So very important that everybody slows down, and the reduction in that speed limit certainly will help that. And it was 30, and again, we're talking about inside city speed limit, from 30 to 25.
Yes.
So
30 to 25.
And then when you think about it, what's the difference between 30 and 25? You're going to get to work, what, 30 seconds later, a minute later?
Leave your house 30 seconds early.
Yeah, just maybe shorten up that Starbucks order. Don't get the double, just get the single latte.
Or order ahead of time. You'll be fine.
That's right. Yeah, order ahead of time.
And you'll be fine. All that fun stuff.
You'll be okay. But don't be surprised. And that goes into effect when, did they say?
March 1st.
March 1st.
Is when that goes into effect. So you got, was that 2 weeks?
Yeah, that doesn't mean speed around for the next 2 weeks, but yeah, don't be surprised if you see those signs change on the side of the road. In the next couple of weeks, I'm sure we'll be on top of it.
Absolutely. So keep those to 25 miles an hour. And some fun news, actually. I don't know. I guess safety is fun. But anyway,
It's fun to me.
Saratoga Auto Museum is currently showcasing the evolution of performance and design. Now, looking at their website, you can kind of see all of the cars that are there, but they will be not, you can't see them all, but you can see some of the types of vehicles that they are showcasing. One is like a nice classic 1930s Bugatti.
Ooh.
You know,
Have you ever been to the museum?
I have been there
I
a
have
few
too.
times.
It's and if you're local and you haven't been, it's something to behold. But this is really a great display that they have going on now. And location wise, it's right in Saratoga,
Right in Saratoga.
Inside SPAC, or
right outside SPAC.
Right,
It's like
that's
right
true.
there. And if you've ever been to SPAC, you know where it is.
And just take, if you're coming from, Route 9, you just take Avenue of the Pines and you literally run right into it. You can't miss it. So,
Can't miss it.
yeah, they'd love to see you during this most recent event.
Absolutely. And also, supporters can enter to win a 2025 Corvette Z06
Whoa.
and
Not just a regular Corvette.
Z06 Corvette
Okay.
and $20,000 in cash through their ongoing raffle.
Wow.
So you can raffle yourself into a nice Corvette and see some cool cars.
I wanted to go before the Corvette. Now I'm definitely going.
Now I'm definitely
I don't
going.
know if I am eligible, but we'll give it a shot. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So make sure you go check out the Saratoga Auto Museum. Moving on to Mohawk news, we have so much going on. And, of course, it's President's Day week. So
All week.
you guys are off. You know, you're
Well-
listening to this. You're hopping on the live. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. You know, there's nothing to do. It's cold. Well, you can hop into any one of our stores, Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet, and buy a new car.
That's right. And even if you do know what's going on with your life, you may know that after a couple days, right, the kids are on school vacation. What am I going to do? Well, servicing your vehicle might be on the list. Our both
Definitely
service
do that.
departments are as busy as could be
Yep.
right now because people have some extra time. Also, President's Day and President's Day week, the whole week, have traditionally been really good ways to save money if you're thinking about buying a used car or a new car. If you had waited from the beginning of the year and said, oh, I'm going to wait until there's some deals,
There's some
now's
deals.
the time.
Definitely now's the time. Moving down to some community spotlight. Well, let's go over Mohawk Chevrolet. This is a huge accomplishment. Shout out to everyone on the Mohawk Chevrolet team. They were nominated. They received the Dealer of the Year award.
Wow.
And this is why it's a big deal. Not just that it's the top 3%, but Mohawk Chevrolet was able to accomplish this in 5 years, which I believe is a Chevrolet record.
It
An
has to be.
actual Chevrolet record, which is crazy.
That's unheard of, right? It's like a sports team winning a championship within a few years of becoming.
being
You
fresh.
never hear of anything like
Nope,
that.
you never hear that. So kudos to the whole Mohawk Chevrolet team for winning Dealer of the Year award. Prestigious, again, top 3% of all of the dealerships in the nation, which is wild.
And it measures a lot of the metrics in the dealership. Both the Honda and Chevrolet awards do that, but we certainly would be remiss if we didn't say that it was because of the customers.
Definitely
right?
because of the
We
customers.
couldn't have done it without the customers in the community. Mohawk Chevrolet is super grateful. There was a lot of hard work done by everybody in the Mohawk Chevrolet building, and both past and present, but couldn't have done it without the customers. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And moving on down to Honda's awards, President's Award and Sales Circle of Excellence,
Formerly Master Circle.
formerly known as Master Circle. So if you ever come down into the showroom, you'll see like a little trophy case. There's a little circle there. That's the
right.
Master Circle trophy. I'm not sure if I'm sure they might probably just keep it the same because it's Sales Circle
Yeah,
of
maybe.
Excellence. So
Maybe.
they might just keep it the same and just change the name on there.
Yeah.
But for anyone who doesn't know, that's less than 5%, the top 50 dealers in the nation.
And the President's Award, which is equally as important because the President's Award encompasses the entire dealership, not just sales, right? So customer satisfaction, service, parts, collision repair, everything. And again, super proud to be part of the team that accomplished that. We have a whole bunch of people, hundreds of folks who made that happen, but ultimately it couldn't have happened without all of our loyal customers in our community.
Exactly. Speaking of our community, we have a tournament going on.
Oh boy, we mentioned this, and it's been. I think it's even more popular now than it was last week.
Oh,
when
it's
we were talking
definitely
about it.
way more popular. So we are doing a basketball tournament, calling it Mohawk Madness, and we have
Get your brackets
over
out.
40 people across our Mohawk entities joining in on this tournament for the Boys and Girls Club, and there's a lot of trash talking going on.
There is. But I have to tell you, a lot of that talking is by folks that are maybe former athletes, like really former years and years ago. So we'll see how this turns out. I'll be interested. As long as there's no injuries and it's for a good cause, that's what matters.
Yeah, it's definitely for a good cause. So be on the lookout. We are going to live stream the draft for this tournament.
That's scary.
Next week, I believe it's next Thursday, I think we are, 12 o'clock. So, usually...
Tune in.
Make sure you tune in wherever you are.
That's right. Get your
and
stats
if you're listening
ready.
to the replay or on Spotify, and this is later in the year, you missed it. But there's always more time. Make sure you're following Mohawk on all of the social media accounts to figure out what's going on, because there's always something else.
There's always something going on. But at the center of that, at the beginning of that, or what people know Mohawk Honda for is our sales process and how happy people are with buying, servicing, but maybe even repeatedly buying from Mohawk, and we think there's a good reason why, and it's our sales process.
That's right, and the sales circle. They changed it on me, guys. The sales circle of excellence comes from having a great process and great customer service, and that's really why we have the lead sales consultant on the floor for last month. Cam McKenna, everybody, welcome Cam McKenna.
Welcome, Cam McKenna.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it, and we don't want to undersell Cam here. This is the reason he's coming. He's coming to you as the top performing sales consultant from 2024, with over 330. And for those that don't know how many cars that is, that's a lot of cars. Over 330 vehicles sold last year. Gold Master certified in just about everything, including the most important customer service standards. Cam, did I get that number right? Was it 330?
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Pretty close. I might have even shorted them. I might have even shorted them.
You missed a 30 and a half, okay?
That is a lot. So we figured what better person to ask than the leader at Mohawk Honda in terms of volume, how he does it, right? And what that process looks like. And I don't want to assume too much, but I'm assuming that the process has changed and adapted to the way that customers like to shop nowadays.
You kind of playing down the Gold Masters a little bit. The Gold Master you only get that title if you consistently year over year have a great customer service score and you sell a lot of cars. It goes hand in hand. The top level.
The top level of Hondas, right? New Hondas and certified pre-owned Hondas. So really backing that brand, of course, backing Mohawk Honda and the customers, but really you couldn't find a better spokesperson for the brand. So we're super happy to have Cam on here. What do you have to say to the folks about kind of how you did it? I feel like we just presented you a trophy from last year.
Now we got
these are big shoes to fill, man. No, I mean, first and foremost, we have an amazing team here, which is a big part, having the support system, not only inside these walls with our coworkers, but I gotta say, family outside is huge for me. But really, in the grand scheme of things, none of this is possible without you guys who are watching. Our clients here are just you guys are the bread and butter, and I really can't thank you guys enough for instilling in us, especially myself, and it goes a long way. So I really do appreciate it.
That's so great to hear. One of the things that we certainly get behind, I know is important to me, is our acknowledgement that without our customers, right, without our loyal customers, we certainly wouldn't achieve any of these awards that Nate just mentioned at either store. So again, a sincere thank you, and we're constantly trying to learn. Right. And we're constantly adapting to things that happen in the market, between the things that we've mentioned on the last couple shows, like AI, right? Who would have thought AI would be helping
AI,
people
EVs.
shop for our cars, EVs, driverless vehicles, all this stuff is a huge part of what's made things happen well. So, Cam, if you could kind of summarize, do you see things a little bit differently as far as how people shop for a car now compared to even 5 or 10 years ago?
Yeah.
When did
so
you start?
I'm actually going to be celebrating my 12th year next
Ooh,
month.
Okay.
12 years.
Yeah.
So give us
March
the overarching view from 12
what
years
happened
when you
over the
first
last
started to
12 years?
now.
Man, I don't even know where to begin because I couldn't even fathom, the men and women who have been in this industry way longer than me, the stuff that they've seen. I mean, my dad's been here 26 years, and I see what just the computer has done to him. It's truly remarkable. But no, I mean, it's truly incredible, being able to just even simple things that we take for granted, like being able to text, send videos through our phones. I mean, we can FaceTime now. You can do walkarounds on vehicles. It just, everything is there. It's just, the amount of efficiency in this industry at this point is just absolutely incredible. Like you guys said, AI is now starting to, play an effect, and it's just, there's no other words besides, like, it's remarkable stuff that we're seeing. Like, it truly is, just the way technology is going from when I started to now is just such an improvement, and the tools that we have, just not even on our side of sales, but the consumer side of making things, all the knowledge is there, you know what I mean? And it's a big help, rather than overwhelm clients. They get an opportunity to be able to see these YouTube videos of how things work and stuff of that nature. And it's really, on the sales side, in my opinion, has really it made it fun. You know what I mean? Like, it just gives new dynamics of how the car buying process can be. I mean, heck, we got companies that you can just buy off of Ferris wheel cars. You know what I mean? So it's incredible nowadays. It truly is.
So do you see a lot more customers coming in with more knowledge than they used to?
Oh, big time. And
Okay.
honestly, I love it. Absolutely love it. Bringing the knowledge to the table. I'm the first one to admit there's times the clients are, teaching me a couple of things here and there. Huh? But kidding aside, like, it's really good being able to see that people are relying on the resources that they do have. Having a knowledgeable conversation with each other just makes things a lot easier. It takes a lot of the scare factor out of possibly not doing this for maybe the past 10 years. There's good things out there, that really help kind of drive to a knowledgeable conversation, for sure.
That's amazing. And that's kind of the theme of what we've been talking about since we started Mohawk Table Talk,
Right.
is the way that the business has adapted, the way Mohawk Auto Group and Mohawk Honda has adapted to that. Let me ask you this, with that initial consultation with a customer, right? I know you deal with, especially somebody like Cam, who's been here for a while, has a lot of trusted customers. Aren't there a lot of people that maybe own a CRV as an example and might want to just go to that next CRV? Isn't that a pretty
Very common.
common thing, right?
Yeah, especially in the leasing world.
That's right. That's right. So maybe they've already decided that the CRV is for them. Like, I'm definitely getting another CRV.
Yeah.
Tell me how things have changed where today you can communicate with people before they come in and save them some time. Like, what does that look like in terms of the process?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with technology the way it is, we're able to do FaceTime videos, just overall videos in general, just straight from the phone. We have great systems as far as trim walks, things of that nature. The lovely part about the Honda side of things is, yes, things do get redesigned, but Honda's a Honda.
Honda's a Honda.
When you're sitting in a Honda, you just feel at home. So I personally feel, what I've heard from my clients as well, is the scary factor of, like, learning X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we have new technology. It's coming left and right. But when you sit inside, it's just like being in your living room. You know what I mean? There's that comfort feeling. And, like I said, things obviously are changing rapidly, but Honda's definitely right there with the times. And we got a great team here, especially with our delivery coordinators that have your best interest in mind. Will always be there to help you.
That's great.
Seeing these things.
Let's talk about, so obviously we talk about this ad nauseum. Like, we want to make sure that the customer, you individuals that are listening to this podcast, watching on video, wherever you are, and you haven't bought a car, especially for Mohawk, but you haven't bought a car in 10 years. You don't really know what's going on. And it's almost like every time a new cycle comes in, you become a newbie. because things change so fast, especially now. Let's kind of walk through the process, because we say all the time, we want you to be an educated buyer. We want you to understand, and exactly what you said. We want to make sure that you understand the process. We want you to understand the ins and outs so you can have an understanding of, okay, this isn't like we talked about this. It's not like buying a pair of shoes. I can't just go on Amazon and be like, oh, I want these shoes, right? A lot of people, we talked about, online buying, but a lot of people want to and have to work with somebody to get the vehicle they want and they can afford. And so for that individual that's brand new, the question for Cam here is going to be, what can you expect? We can't speak for any other dealership. We can only speak for Mohawk, right? What can they expect when they walk into Mohawk for the first time and they meet and greet and they're like wondering,
right, what do we do here?
What do I do here?
Yeah.
What's my first step?
Yeah. What does that look like, the customer journey?
Yeah. When you arrive, we have an amazing team of delivery specialists that sit at the front desk to help check you in. If you're pre-assigned to somebody, we'll have the car waiting for you. Everything that you could imagine, we'll have preset for you. After that, really, we have this amazing state-of-the-art facility that's brand new here. So, we'd love to bring you around, show you how the service department works. As little details as it might be funny, but showing you where the bathroom is. You want to make sure you feel.
You gotta know where that is.
We want to make sure you feel comfortable. You know what I mean? So, other than that, like I said, it's super, super easy here. You walk in, we always have your best interest in mind, and then so you'll start by speaking to the team at the front desk. They will direct you to the right facility, which then will land you with one of our amazing sales reps, hopefully me. And then
wink, wink.
Yeah. Don't see me. With that being said, you'll hang out with, we'll sit down together. My goal is twofold. One, to find you the right car, and two, to make it affordable. So in the grand scheme of things, when we sit together, I want to kind of find out what your needs and wants are. Most importantly, it doesn't make sense for your time or my time, really, in the grand scheme, if I don't want to be the one who wastes it by showing you the wrong car.
Right.
I want to take in your family needs. I want to take in your sound or your what you're looking for in a vehicle. I just want to make it as simplified as possible, really. And when you sit with one of the sales reps here, we kind of go through a little bit of needs assessment and
super important.
Yeah, just try to find the right car.
So before, I guess we should probably go back a little bit, because before they're coming in the dealership, there should be things that they should have readily available beforehand. What would make their process smoother? So what would make the customer's process smoother if they had these things available before they walk in?
Big thing, trade-ins. Always a great idea to bring those with you. As far as just having really some basic info as far as like what important features are there for you? What can't you live without? What's the need versus a want? It's really just kind of simple things. Maybe like an idea of as far as like budgeting, things of that nature. Because the thing with sales is it seems that we ask a lot of questions. And it, at times, I understand, especially when you don't do this, for years on end, it can come across as pushy. You know what I mean? But I just want everybody to understand, like, we're just doing that kind of stuff to really kind of help you, guide you, and try to make it as simple as possible rather than confusing. So if you can even just bring a little bit of details to us as far as budgeting, features are important, can't live without, we'll help, we'll help guide for sure.
Yeah, that's really the Mohawk way, right? We want to go at the speed that you want to go at. Yeah. If somebody's maybe even further in the process, let's talk about that CRV customer that knows they want another CRV. We love them. Wow. And they may even be ready to get a car right away after somebody like Cam helps them with the right car and all that. Maybe they bring with them, maybe what would be helpful, like if they brought like their trade, their title, ID, stuff like that.
So if they've already bought a vehicle, what should they bring if they know exactly what they want?
Yeah, 100% always have your license on you. And then registration, insurance card, things of that nature, especially if you're trading in a vehicle. have a total loss vehicle and you still would like to use those plates, things of that nature. Titles are huge. A lot of folks actually, believe it or not, super important, keep your lien releases. That is an individual piece of paper.
Yep,
You
yep.
don't realize how important that is.
And that's it. That's if you had a loan, but then you
Correct.
paid it off.
Yes.
And the bank sent you that lien release that says you're all set. You don't owe us any more
Yes,
money.
yes.
Or if they still have a loan, maybe that bank info, right? Like who it's
collect,
financed
yes.
with, maybe an account number, so we
Yeah,
can
that'd be huge.
help save some time.
100%. Yep.
Okay,
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. So that certainly is helpful advice. So we went from coming into the dealership, a real warm greeting, and knowing we love giving. I know it's dear to me, but I love giving tours of the dealership, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that way, because we got a lot to show off here,
yeah.
you know, and it's not for us, but so that when you get that vehicle, you know exactly what to expect going forward, which is a big part of making a decision. Then you'll consult with somebody like Cam, right?
Yep.
And maybe settle on the right color and the trim of the right car and all that kind of thing. And then, once we come to an agreement, if you had that stuff, like Nate was saying, maybe your title, maybe your insurance card and things, then we have everything we need to kind of put everything together. And then what's the next step when
And
somebody's picking
speaking
up
of
their
that,
car?
actually, though, Mike, if let's just say everything perfectly aligns with technology, the way it's going,
Yeah.
we actually specialize in allowing you to be able to take your new car home the same day.
Oh,
Ooh, here we go.
And what do we call that around here?
Same day delivery.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, we only bring that up, Cam, we were joking a little bit, but in days of old, when somebody bought a vehicle, it could take a week or two for the car to get ready, like getting ready by cleaning and getting, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I might be the only one in the room old enough to remember that.
I
but
wasn't around for those days, but I'm sure they were there.
That's how long. And in fact, just like with a home, when you picked up the car,
Did
they
you
used
have to
call
write
it
on
the
a
close
stone
it.
tablet,
All
Mike?
right. It wasn't quite that. It wasn't a horse and buggy.
Sorry, I had to do it.
but-
You all were thinking it. I'm just saying it.
That's
you
right,
know,
that's right.
You gotta have that one person who makes that joke.
At Mohawk, that same day delivery is such a neat thing. And I'm that guy, right? When I go to a store to get that pair of shoes, like Nate was saying, if I go to the store, I want to leave with the shoes.
Yeah.
I don't want to have it ordered or pick it up next week or whatever. I don't know. I'm just that guy. So I think a lot of people are like me, and can probably attest to that. So just to kind of finish off the process there, it went through a great experience. We found the right car.
Yep.
Everything's going well. They decide to get that new vehicle. And then what happens after that? We have folks that handle the financing and all that kind of thing.
Yep, we have 8 amazing business managers here. We work with 17 different lenders, a couple actually local banks as well, to even for the ease of somebody that you may actually personally deal with on an everyday basis. So yeah, we sit with one of the 8 business managers that we have here that will go over some awesome coverage options to help protect the vehicle, to make sure you have a safe and sound experience. And then after that, we'll get you having your new car shining like it's 1999 all over again. And you'll sit with our amazing delivery specialist team that will hook up all the features, get the car exactly the way you want it, radio stations, you name it. And the best part about that is they're always here. So if you ever need a refresher, you can come back as many times as you need. And we always got you. On top of the fact, you'll have myself, one of the other sales reps in your corner at all times. If you need anything, you can always feel free to give us a call with helping schedule for service. If you have questions about features, whatever the case may be, we got you.
Yeah, we love that. And we have a lot of questions like that, right?
Yeah.
And it makes sense. You get that new vehicle, right? And then a few months later, you get a new cell phone, right? And maybe it's not the kind you're used to. And you're like, it's not paired to my car anymore. What do I do? How am I going to get my Spotify?
The new Apple 20 came out.
Yeah, exactly. So stop in anytime. We can help you with that, whether it's the delivery specialists that greet you right when you come in, or obviously your sales consultant if they're available, or anybody really can help. That new technology is super important to make sure that you're connected, because there's some safety involved there, and obviously convenience. We love to help with that. So that's great. So the next step is, we call it delivery, meaning we deliver it to you kind of like a picture, like like a pizza or something. All right, maybe a pizza is not a good example, but
I mean,
like a
I
Thanksgiving
guess.
dinner.
Yeah,
we deliver it to you. There you go. And it's all, the car's all shined up outside,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We have a designated area outside
we do.
where all the new cars or the new to you cars are set all clean, right? We try to keep it in a bubble so nothing stuff this time of year, but
I mean,
so
yeah, you know.
but they're all clean. It's as clean as they're ever going to be. So we're super proud of that, and we just love seeing the smiles come from people's faces when they walk out to see their new car for their first time, and they're super happy about it. So just to go down to the next step. So somebody's picked up their vehicle, they love it, they love everything about it. Mohawk, they're big Mohawk fans, and then after that, we don't obviously forget about them after that. We what do we do then in terms of follow up and so forth?
100%. Yeah. So I'm really big on this, especially. We're there every step of the way. We'll be following up with you, checking in how you're doing with, say, your leasing, how you're doing on miles, how you're just overall liking the car. And remember, we have a red carpet referral program here. If for those who don't know what that is, if you actually have a referral and you give myself or your sales rep a call, if you send somebody who's never been here before, ends up doing business with us, and mentions your name, it's $100 every single time, and a chance every time to get entered into a drawing that we do for
Biannual $1,000,
Wow.
which we
you
just did.
right?
Yep.
Yep. So,
Yep, we just did that last
and,
week.
don't mean to brag or anything, but one of my previous clients was
There
the
we
winner.
go.
Oh,
All right.
boy, here
All
we
right.
go.
Congratulations.
But yeah, so
On
congrats,
top in
Deb.
every single way.
So
There we go.
Other than that, though, no, you have us every step of the way. Like you said, if you need help scheduling for service, it's just referrals, it just here and there questions. Things happen,
Yep.
things come up.
Yeah.
As a sales rep, caring for the client, my big recommendation, especially because there are a lot of things in these newer cars, always try to master like 3 or 4 things first. Don't overwhelm yourself. Pick the most important things, and then once you feel like you have those mastered, come on down, hang out with me again, or delivery specialist. We'll hit the next section for
Yeah,
sure.
and not to minimize what Cam was talking about. That referral program is great. $100 is super great. $1,000 is even better. However, we named it the Red Carpet Referral Program because it's super important to us that we roll out that red carpet, that proverbial red carpet, for your connections, whether that's family or friends, and they get the same great experience that you got when you got your vehicle from us. So we want to make sure we duplicate that plus some. So it's very important to us that we take care of folks who take care of us.
So we
shout out.
talked about the process, right? We talked about the meet and greet, the needs assessment, the test drive, trade-in evaluation slightly. We have talked about trade-in in the past, so make sure you go check out some of our previous episodes on trade-in, how to get the most for your trade-in, all that fun stuff. We actually have talked about financing, what an APR means
That's
in previous episodes. And then you said yes, you come in on delivery day, the process of that, and you get to take that home. Now I want to go into some pro tip discussion. And what I mean by that is not everyone will buy from Mohawk, even though we want them to, right?
Right.
What would you say are red flags from a sales, if they go in and they're working with a salesperson, what would you say were like red flags that they should be aware of?
Oh man, it's a tough question.
And you're talking about elsewhere, you mean?
I'm talking about elsewhere.
Yeah, not at Mohawk. We're talking about if, as an example, somebody maybe shops a different dealership, and is it possible that they may hear something that might seem like too good to be true?
Right.
Right,
And that's
like-
the thing is like, we are different. We are very honest. We're open. We're transparent. We answer all the questions to a T. We give everybody all of the information to make the decision for themselves here. I guess I want to make sure that they have a good experience, or they know like, hey, I should be on the lookout for things of this nature in case I see this. I should probably rethink what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things that pop into my mind when dealing, especially within the pre-owned field. Ask the question: what does their certification, qualify for? What entails to make a car certified? I know, speaking on the Honda front, Honda goes through a 182-point inspection. Nothing can be under half health when it comes to the Honda world. So things like that, super important. With our pre-owned vehicles, it's even right on the website, but I always like to provide the work that was done to the vehicle. Don't be afraid to ask to see, hey, what did you guys do for this? So you're in the mindset of like, okay, X, Y, and Z, I can expect not to have to do these things
Right.
for a while.
Yeah.
We spend the most on average reconditioning out of any local dealer. Here, in my opinion, we really stand behind our vehicles. Don't be afraid to ask those type of questions.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with, like,
Yeah.
when you're there, what are the, I guess, if you see this, like, these could be like green lights, like, hey, I'm working with a good person, I'm working at a great dealership, and then what are those questions specifically we should be asking? If I'm sitting at the desk, I'm working with Cam McKenna, what questions should I ask to make sure I have the answers for?
Yeah. You just, they're so, man. It's so tough.
I threw him on the spot. There's
Yeah.
there's definitely a few things.
Yeah,
for sure, but
of course, like when you're trying to speak from like an outside perspective, it's always tough. But like, me personally,
yeah,
it could be the most outlandish question ever. Just any question is a good question. It
There you
goes
go.
back to our days of growing up. There's no such thing as a bad question. If you don't know, don't be afraid to ask. And honestly, if I don't know the answer, I will make sure I go get it for you. Plain and simple. But
don't be afraid to ask the questions.
yeah,
that's
don't be. It's all good.
Yeah.
We're here
let
for
them be
you.
willing. Yeah, I would say if they're not willing to answer the questions, think twice about
That
it.
would be a red flag.
Yes, that would be a
Red flag. Somebody that's not willing to answer your question,
Yeah.
right? And I guess not to summarize what Cam said, or to summarize what he said, on the pre-owned vehicles, since we do a lot of pre-owned vehicles here.
We
know,
already
if you-
know you're
yeah.
the pre-owned car
yeah,
guru
I always have
in
to get
this
that
group,
in there.
Mike.
I always have to get in there. So
Of course.
So if you're at that other dealer lot and you ask them a question about, geez, how have you reconditioned this vehicle? What have you done to the car to make it ready for sale? And maybe that dealership doesn't have the answer. That might be a red flag, right? They either don't have the answer or didn't do anything. That would be up to you to interpret. That might be a red flag, right? And lastly, if it was a new vehicle, it's possible, and we've heard this. I know Cam and I have heard this when speaking with clients. We want to offer all of the vehicles we have available for the customer to purchase, right? Yeah. So if a customer went somewhere else and that dealer said, oh, the only vehicle we're going to show you is this green polka dotted one over here,
Right.
and you don't want green polka dots, that certainly could be a red flag, right? I don't know. That's just the feedback that we get.
Yeah,
from people.
especially in today's world, kind of circling back full circle moment of what we just started the conversation with technology. Like, there's so many options out there. Like, let us find the right one for you. Like, it goes back. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and it's our job's twofold: one, to find the right car, and two, to make it affordable.
That's right. That's right. That's a full process there.
That was the full process.
Yeah. And
make sure you take a look. Reach out to Cam if you have any questions. He's always here. Throw them in the comments below. And thank you so much for
Appreciate
hopping
it.
on.
Thanks for jumping on, Cam.
Yeah.
It's really nice to understand. And we went through a bunch, and Cam really paraphrased some of the steps, but it's not really that complicated, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe there's a perception that buying a car is tough and it's complicated. It certainly is not. It's just about serving the customer and selling the car the way you'd like to buy it.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's a little bit different. We covered that in 2 episodes ago. Everybody's a little bit different on how they want to buy things.
Everyone's a little bit different. They're all looking for something different. And I tell the sales and leasing consultant here, you're not going to be able to work with everybody. You find your own jam with your sales and leasing consultant, the one that you like. And so find that one that you love and stick with them, because when you find one for life, hopefully.
That's right. That's right. We're just as before we wrap up. I can't go. I can't go. An
I bet
episode.
you didn't know about that sales
That's
process.
right. I bet you didn't know. I can't go. And this is a little off topic, but it is. It's the middle of February, and these are the things that run through my mind. It's snowing outside. It's upstate New York. It's not anything that we don't expect. But this is 2025. 2025, of course, is not a leap year, so that means there's only 28 days in February.
Bummer.
Boo! We love that extra day. I know. I don't know. I feel like it's like found. Now it was just a leap year last year.
Yep.
So that means the next leap year is 2028.
I've always thought, like, if you have a birthday on a leap year, your birthday's on the 29th. So do you choose March 1st or do you choose February 28th?
That's a good question. I bet you we have some leap year birthdays watching right now. So on that note, bet you didn't know. So the average, let me just tell you this, the average new vehicles sold in the country every single day are about 45,000 new vehicles sold every day in the country. That's all makes and models. Do you have an idea? I bet you didn't know. What is the amount of vehicles sold every February 29th?
Oh,
compared to the average that are sold throughout
I don't know.
the year? February 29th.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a hint. It's more.
I don't know.
All right, it's a little bit more. It's about 10% more. So on
There you go.
average, there's 51,000 vehicles sold every February 29th, which only happens every 4 years. So it's almost a 10% increase over the regular sales.
Maybe we
of
should
new vehicles.
check to see the sales increase 4 years out over 4 years.
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
what
Well,
happens.
we'll see. Well, in 2028, when we're doing Mohawk Table Talk, we'll get
Yeah.
we'll get the stats
We'll get the stats for you.
But anyway, that's just kind of interesting. It's also the end of the month. Obviously, it's the last day of the month, so maybe that has something to do with it. But interesting stat, and that goes right along with the February 29th birthdays. If we have any watching or listening,
Yeah.
we
Bet you
covered a
didn't know.
lot. That's right.
Bet you didn't know that one. All right.
Whew. Can
I
you
think that's
summarize
it.
that? That was a lot.
I think we're good. I think they got enough of this. They got enough of us. You know what I'm saying? Mohawk Table Talk. We're here for you. We're here to make you an educated buyer because educated buyers are the best buyers. Want to thank everybody. Thank you, Kim, for hopping on with us. He actually need to go help out a customer. So everyone watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Also follow us if you are on Spotify. And we'll see you next time on Mohawk Table Talk. See you later.
Next week.